Colleagues, welcome to another edition of Is It Shit? With me, Dan Peters, and
me, Sean Vincent.
Today we are looking at the...
It's another T-Rex. It's the T-Rex Comprexxor. I think that's what they call it, the Comprexxor. It's compressor spelled with X's instead of S's. So
what do you think they've been playing on there, Sean?
I don't know, but it's basically a distressor, isn't it? It looks suspiciously like a distressor, and it works pretty much like a distressor. Okay.
You're going to have to tell us a bit more about it. I can't think of any questions to ask you.
Fair dues. Okay, well, a distressor is a very, very versatile compressor that you'll see in a lot of studios. You always see it because it's got the big white controls on it. I was probably quite late to the distressor, but I used one on a whole album I did, live band album a few years ago. I used it on the bass on every track, and it sounded phenomenal. But it also works on a snare, and it'll work on a kick, and it'll work. It's one of those very, very versatile compressors that you can make it do something interesting on everything. And it's got a very unique look to it, like a massive gain reduction meter with like individual LEDs. You can really see what's happening. This basically does that very well. It sounds a lot like a distressor. I really like it, but it's got a few extra things. So you can put it into purely optical mode, and then it works very much like any other optical compressor. And the more you drive it, the more it compresses. But it's also got this thing called GB mode, which I presume the GB stands for Great Britain. I don't know. But basically, when you turn that on,
a lot of X's, a lot of GBs.
Yeah. Loads. They like letters, don't they? Yeah. People? Loads of letters, which no one knows what they mean. But basically, from what I can work out, when you turn that on, it suddenly sounds like an 1176 with all the buttons pressed in. So all of a sudden, you're getting that really sort of slamming in your face 1176 sound, which a distressor can't really do. So that's an extra thing. But it's got a dry wet control, which we like.
Yeah,
it means you can do the parallel compression thing. It's got a tone control, which I really like. It's surprisingly good. I haven't heard many versions of a distressor plug-in wise that actually do sound like one.
And what do you use it on?
I think it sounds pretty fantastic on almost everything.
Okay.
For me, bass sounds fantastic on bass. I have a bass bus. It's a mono bus. I send everything bass to it. It works fantastically on that. I would definitely use it on snares. I mean, a whole bunch of stuff. You can stick vocals through it.
Similarly, though, we have the usual T-Rex issues.
We do.
Thirsty on CPU.
A little bit.
Crazy installation management sort of software.
All that stuff, yeah.
However, we've reviewed a few T-Rex things now, and it's starting to look like some of them are average, but it's looking like some of them are pretty cool too.
Yeah, I think they've got some really good stuff. I think it's one of those ecosystems that if you don't mind getting into it and you're going to use a lot of their plugins, it's probably a lot less hassle once you're in it.
I mean, Sound Toys, Native Instruments, there's a lot of people that are going this way, isn't there?
Yeah. I'm never a fan of having to install an app to manage plugins from one manufacturer only. I like just having an install file. And you install it, and that's that. I don't understand why it's more complicated.
Old school.
But also, again, the demo makes white noise at you.
We don't like that.
No,
we don't like the white noise.
It's just frustrating. You can't actually really try it out. So that.
And how much is the full version?
It's $129.99, which I think is all right for this. It's a lot of money for a compressor, and you could do similar stuff with cheaper or even free compressors. That's true. But it does have that flavour of a distressor, and I think, for me, I'd only ever use maybe one or two distressors in the whole mix, so the CPU thing isn't so much of a problem. You're not going to use loads of them.
But you'd use it in every mix that you did. It's a go-to, isn't it?
I think I would, yeah.
Yeah. So, without further ado, Sean J. Vincent, is the T-Rex Comprexxor shit?
No, it's not shit. It's nice. It's really nice.
You're going to talk about some clicks?
Some clicks? What clicks you want to talk about?
Subscribing.
Oh yeah, we should ask you to subscribe, really. Yeah. Because 93% of you come back and watch another video but haven't subscribed yet, so you should do that.